The story begins in a courtyard of a castle. A number of heroes gathered together, waiting for the king's announcement. As the king enters, he shouted to the heroes, saying the time for humanity to fight back the demon has finally come. For many generations humanity had suffered on the hands of the demon. They now have taken most of the earth under their control, and that there are 47 demon kings ruling across the world, with the great demon king ruling over them all. The king encourages the heroes and dubbed the 47 heroes humanity's last hope. All heroes are assigned to one of the demon king fortresses. The heroes started getting excited. Looks like it'll be a race to see who beat their demon first, said the hero Bolst. The heroes then started a friendly banter with one another, while one hero, Liwan, told them not to underestimate the demon army. A voice behind him then told him to calm down, telling him that everyone understands how frightening the demon army is. That everyone had first-hand experience and suffered in the hands of the demon army, and that's why they have trained their whole life for today. He said the banter is only a sign for their confidence and told him not to worry too much. This was the 19th hero Ario. He continued, stating that they'll surely win and asking Hallow if he's right. Hallow was the 11th hero, and unlike the other heroes he was super nervous. His support fairy, Pain, gives him water trying to calm him down. Hallow, after hearing the king's speech, felt a heavy responsibility on his shoulder and was nervous. Pain teases him, saying he haven't changed since training school and that it would have been much better if he was a support fairy to some other heroes. Ario asked him not say stuff like that, and that while Hallow lacks flexibility he won't lose to anyone in terms of strength of heart. That's what he noticed from training with him all this time, and that strength is the most important thing for a hero. The two then shake hands, and Ario encourage Hallow to do his best and that they'll give congratulatory toast to each other after defeating their assigned demon lord, promising him. And just like that, the mission to defeat the demon lord begins. The scene cuts to a forest. It has been half a year since the mission began. Hallow party were camping in a forest, all quiet. A letter arrived to them, and Pain received it, saying this one also smells of blood. Hallow asked to see what the letter had said. The letter reported that the other heroes were either dead or unable to even fight anymore. The party members were shocked that even the second hero was defeated and that not even a single news of them defeating a demon lord has been reported. They began to lose hope in their mission. The old man asked Hallow what should they do. After half a year, the 11th hero party has finally reached the 11th demon king Jachi's castle. The old man stated that after all the effort it took to get here, they definitely became stronger, but day after day, even other heroes as strong as them have all met the same cruel end. Pain decided to pack his stuff, saying humanity is finished and that he's going home. He also told the others unless they have a death wish they should do the same and spend the remaining time they had left freely without care, as there was no way they were going to win the battle. The letter also shows that the 19th hero Ario's battle was also terminated and his whereabouts was unknown. Hallow was hurt knowing even his friend has failed. He gets up, saying that Pain is right and that no one's dumb enough to face a fight they know they'll lose, but he's the only one that's dumb enough to do so. He thanks everyone for their help and that he'll take down the demon king Jachi by himself. Pain tries to stop him, but Hallow persists, saying he's going because he is a hero with his sword shining behind him. This sword was called the Sword of Courage. It's a holy sword that reacts to the wielder's willpower. Meaning Hallow's heart still hasn't been broken even in their fight against the unwinnable. Seeing this, the party member followed him, saying their role was supporting the hero and that Hallow was indeed a true hero and that they were willing to risk their lives for him. The hero thanks them and they begin their venture to their final battle. Pain tries to leave regardless, but seeing how his chance of survival going back was slim, decided to join Hallow again. On entering the castle, they have yet to see a single demon inside. The party member began thinking if it's a trap, but decided to keep going. Entering the throne room, they discovered that all the demons have been waiting for them. The demon king Jachi said he was tired of waiting and wants the hero to show him his power, underestimating them. The old man then summons a huge flame and shoots it at the demon. The demon king simply blows the flame, causing the flame to vanish. He then picks his ear and then flicks it at the mage. The force was so powerful that it instantly kills the old man. The demon king decided to get up, to which the other party member falls on the ground, instantly dying. The hero and Pain were shocked. The demon tells them it was because they have been affected by the dense magic surrounding his body. It was impressive for a human to last even 10 seconds near him. Hallow then charged forward, swinging his blade towards the demon. Even after a series of attacks, the demon king kept dodging. The demon king praises him, saying even with continuous blow, each blow was aimed at his vital, so he must have taken an intense training. However, it was not enough. The demon king stopped Hallow with just 2 fingers and flicked him off. The hero was thrown back. He then realized that his right arm was gone from that attack. Blood gushes out from his arm and the hero screamed with agony. The demon inspects the sword and throws it back to Hallow, taunting him to pick it up and cut him. The other demons begin to laugh at Hallow. The Demon King stated that he wasn't tricking Hallow and that he was simply curious what the sword will do, mocking him. Hallow picks up the sword, furious, and swing his sword directly to the demon lord, to which the sword broke. In the realm of nature, natural enemy is a term indicating an absolute predator of a species. Like a bird to an insect, like a snake to a frog, like a demons to humans. To win against one's natural enemy is absolutely impossible. Despaired, Hallow fell down to his knees as the Demon King begins charging up his beam. The beam blasts Hallow away, knocking him off the castle. The demon taunted him, saying that for only in dream within a dream will the human ever defeat the Demon King. As Hallow begins to fall down, Puna went after him and they both fell into a body of water. The scene cuts to the past 9 years ago. A young boy was calling Hallow, telling him about magic. The boy was the older brother of Hallow, Zabi. Zabi demonstrated summoning magic to Hallow. Drawing a summoning circle on the ground, he can summon an apple. Hallow was shocked as to how the apple came out of nowhere. Zabi corrected him, saying it wasn't from nowhere. The apple was actually from that tree and was summoned here. In other words, summoning magic pretty much teleports substances. But if he messes up part of the magic circle on purpose, a weird deformed apple was summoned. This was called a failed summon. But the weird thing about it is, there wasn't any fewer apple of the previous tree, so this apple was not from that apple tree. The only question was where it was summoned from. Zabi asked Hallow excitedly if he also found it interesting, to which Hallow simply replied he didn't know. Hallow then woke up to Pain shouting if he's okay. Hallow asked where they were. Pain told him the stream from the Demon King castle swept them far down from the castle to here and that he almost didn't making. Getting up, Hallow saw his wound were treated and asked who did it. Pain told him it was some folks who happened to pass by that did it. The folks he mentioned was none other than his older brother Zabi. Zabi greeted him, saying it's been a while since they last saw each other. Hallow asked why he was there. Zabi said it was part of his mage work and that like the heroes the mages was assigned a task, but different from the heroes. The other mages remark how even with the extreme skills of a hero, for a hero to be end up with such a harsh injury, the demon army would be pretty powerful. Hallow apologized to his brother. Even when the heroes are entrusted to defeating the demon, they couldn't even get a single win against them. Zabi consoled him, saying he fought well, and that due to them getting the attention of the Demon King's army they were able to progress secretly with their other plan. Hallow asked what the other plan was. But before he could answer, lightning and storm began to emerge in the sky. Zabi announced that it was all according to the plan. Hallow then asked again what this other plan. Zabi asked Hallow if he remembers the deformed apple he summoned when they were kids. He stated that that apple wasn't from our world, meaning it was summoned from another world. While the heroes were tasked to head to the Demon King castles, the mages were also split up into squads to go around the world. Their goal was to create a summoning magic circle big enough to cover the whole world. Hallow asked what they were trying to summon. Before Zabi could answer, a group of demons showed up. Zabi told Hallow to stand down as he was not in the condition to fight and tell him that the plan was a success. The mages began blasting fireballs at the demon and began fighting. Hallow, still depressed from his last defeat, thinks even with his brother's magic it was still hopeless. No matter how much they fought or how many strategies they used, it was all useless against the demons and that there's no way they could win against the demon. Zabi replied, "Who said we'd be the ones fighting?" The demons began charging. Hallow told his brother to forget about him and to save themselves by running away. Suddenly, projectiles began flying behind the demons at a high speed, killing the demons. Hallow and the other were shocked. Pain said he never smelled anything like this before and that something was coming. From the smoke emerged soldiers with advanced armor and guns. They began killing all the demons. Hallow asked who they were. Zabi exclaimed how they were finally able to do it, how they were able to summon an entire world from another dimension. He stated that the people of their world no longer have the power to resist the Demon King's army, so they seek the help of humans from other world and that they will defeat the Demon King and that they won't have to fight anymore. Hallow wonders whether if these guys are really going to help them and save their world. The soldiers then took their helmets off and one of them approached Zabi asking if they're the residents of this world. As Zabi was welcoming them to their world, he was cut off, with the soldier telling them humanity was on a brink of extinction due to their enemies and that they needed their help. Zabi and the others were flabbergasted from what they hear. Zabi and Pain tried to gaslight themselves into thinking they were speaking other language and that the word help may be how their people used to greet others. A soldier then called the captain and told her that one of their team has returned but are heavily injured and needed some hands to treat them. She then rushes to help them. She tells her men that the interdimensional gate generator was successful and that the people from the other world will surely help them. Hallow then began questioning what the hell is going on. In order to defeat the demons from their world, they summoned the people from the other world to help them fight against the demon. But, the very same people from the other world were also looking for people from another world to help them. The captain introduced herself as Kayla and she was the commander for the anti-machine front lines. Zabi did the same and told them that they were sorcerer, to which she instant believed. Zabi asked her why she was so quick to believe them, asking her if they were the people they summoned from the magic circle. She said no, that Zabi and the others were the people who came through their interdimensional gate they've created. They then both came to realize that they both tried to summon help from other world at the same time. They started a camp and asked each other about their situation. Hallow asked Kayla if they also have an enemy. She told him that their enemies are robots. Originally created by human but with their high artificial intelligence have gone berserk and conquered 80% of their world. Zabi asked if they were the one that made the robots, why was it a big deal for them to get rid of them? Kayla told him that it was not so simple as he thinks. The robot possesses intelligence that far exceed humans and they can create weapons what human can't even comprehend. She added that maybe it might be difficult for people like Zabi, who are fighting mindless creatures, to understand. The two then start arguing which one of their enemies are harder to deal with. Payne asked why they don't use the weapon from earlier to defeat the demons. Kayla told him that it'll be no use to them. Her speech was cut off by a loud sound. It was the sound of the robots coming. From the rubble, four-legged metalloid robots emerge, announcing that they were not here to kill them. They announced that they were there simply to help them and the hiding humans should come out. Kayla told them that it was their bait and they should all hide. The robots then spotted them due to their body temperatures and began charging towards them. Kayla told her men to shoot at once before they reached them. As the group began to fire, the weapons that easily killed the demons before does no damage to the robots. The man yelled they got the anti-laser protection. Kayla told them to use the armor-piercing gun. But even that doesn't seem to work. The robots then start taking out all its weapon, telling the human that the pain will only be temporary. As it approaches the human, the earth suddenly collapses. It was Zabi who uses magic to make the earth collapse, causing the robots to be immobile, and told his other mages to start chanting. The mages cast ice magic which forces the robots to shut down due to low temperature. The soldiers were shocked as to how easy they handled the robots. Zabi asked if it was their first time seeing magic and boasted that the robots were too easy to handle them. Kayla, upon seeing this, raises her hand for a handshake to Zabi. She tells him that while AI has surpassed all their technology, perhaps the magic from the other world might be able to stop the robots. Zabi thought the same, saying that maybe their advanced technologies could help them in defeating the demons. And thus the two began to form an alliance. Hallow, upon seeing this, was moved by his brother's effort. That even in times of hopeless crisis he was able to move forward without ever giving up. Payne then smells the sense of demon. They were vast and they were close. They turned around to see huge number of demons heading their way. Zabi suggests they should retreat to reorganize their forces. One of the soldiers asked if they have a base where they could go to. Zabi told him they do, but it was far away. One of the mages then told Zabi that he could use the flying magic to get them out, but he would need about 5 minutes to chant. Zabi told him to start chanting. But then the robots start getting up. Kayla told them that these robots don't die, they simply shut down for a while, but even then, it was too quick for them to be back online. Just like that, the humans found themselves stuck in the middle with both enemies approaching them from the sides. Zabi told the mage to start chanting and don't stop. For full 5 minutes they have to keep up with both forces. For 5 minutes they have to try to survive. Both sides then start attacking. The mages use their spell against the robots while the soldiers fire their guns against the demon. All the while one of the mages began his chant. Hallow felt helpless and wanted to do something, but Zabi told him he should stay there and they'll need him in case of emergency. The guns were effective against the hordes of demon as they weren't bulletproof like the robots. One of the soldiers went out of formation as he began to feel cocky. Kayla told him to get back in line. The soldier told her he'll be fine as these monsters are nothing compared to the robots. Even the mages with their electric spell were able to stop the robots on their tracks. As they were about to give the final blow, a new type of robot appears, blocking the spells with some kind of force field. The robots have completed their adaptation to their attacks and begins their counterattack. Zabi called for Kayla, asking her what's going on, only to see that one of the demons has crushed the head of the soldier. The demon introduced himself as Kiva, the captain of the 11th Division of the Demon Army. He continued saying that he was there to kill all the 47 heroes. The soldiers continued firing at Kiva, but he effortlessly deflects all the lasers. Even when fired with the armor-piercing gun, he simply flicked the bullet back with his fingers. Things are starting to get grim as the enemies on both sides started advancing on our group. The group started losing hope, thinking if perhaps this is the end for them. Hallow stood there with his broken sword, witnessing all the event unfolding in front of him, helpless. Kiva looked at the robots, saying he doesn't feel any magic power from that, but decide to leave them alone since they are also attacking the human. He then turns his attention toward Flynn, who was still casting his spell. Kayla noticed this and shouted, "Anyone to protect Flynn." A car then came at full speed near Kayla. It was one of the soldiers. He told Kayla that he was going to ram the demon, Kiva. But Kiva simply just lifts it with his one hand and threw the car at the direction of Flynn and Kayla. Hallow then quickly sprint towards them with his broken sword, preparing to swing. Then, a beam of energy emerges from the sword, slicing the car in half. He shouted that he was the hero that challenged the Demon King and he's the one they're looking for. The sword that was broken from the fight with the Demon Lord has reacted to spirit of the wielder and is acting up. Hallow then leaped towards Kiva. Zabi tried stopping Hallow, telling him to put the sword down. Just then the beam from the sword disappeared. Hallow has tried squeezing every last remaining of his bravery. Kiva mocked him, saying that in the end Hallow couldn't hide the fear he has for Demon. Kiva then leaped towards Hallow, intending to deliver a final blow. Hallow then threw his broken sword in the opposite direction of Kiva. Everyone including Kiva was shocked by this. But the sword was aimed at the robot who was attacking Zabi. Hallow shouted, telling the robot that it better get over here too, declaring himself to be the enemy of everyone and that he'll personally fight them all. Zabi asked Hallow what he was trying to do. Kiva told Hallow it's useless and he will kill all his friends after him. The robot then changes his target to Hallow, firing missiles toward him. The missiles exploded, the explosion affecting Kiva too. Out of the smokes emerges Kiva's hand, elongating and heading towards the robot, piercing through the robot. Kiva told the robot if it had stayed calm, he would have just leave it alone, but decided to eliminate them since they were picking a fight with the demons. The robots, seeing this, changed their priority target to the demons. Zabi asked Hallow if he was okay. Since the two groups were now fighting, this was their chance to get away. Zabi asked if Flynn can now fly them to the base. Flynn replied yes, saying he had finished his chanting. A magic circle then appeared, flying them away from the battlefield. Kiva noticed this and extends his hand, grabbing Hallow's leg, but was saved by a beam blast from the robot, severing Kiva's hand. The two group then decide to brawl against each other. While the group were flying, Hallow passed out. When he woke up, he was already at their base. Hallow asked Zabi if their other comrades were okay. Zabi told him some were not so lucky. Hallow apologized, saying that these happened because he was weak. Zabi told him that this was not his fault and this is the results of everyone's effort. Hallow then asked what should they do, since they now not only have to fight the demons, they also now have to fight the robots. Zabi told him that's true, but their situation is a lot more dire than what they thought. The two then head out to a balcony. Zabi told him that the fort was already like this when they came. He told him that there is more than one world that was connected to this world. Not just their world or Kayla's, but other worlds too. How each world were all in danger and just like them had opened a gate to other world to seek help from others. That there are refugees from the other worlds.